Boy, oh boy, got another 5-star plus record on this fantasy playlist. When I first heard it, when I heard the storytelling all wrapped up in the melodic structure, the brilliant melodic structure of this song, a jaunty sounding piano, and you got the choir-like chorus in the background. I flipped over this record, the storytelling. Now, a lot of people say that this is alt pop, and I agree with that. It is in a way, but I go beyond that. I go back in the past. I'm going back to the time tunnel to the 60s and early 70s. This song harkens back to the singer-songwriting tradition of the 60s and early 70s, thinking of people like James Taylor, Carole King, well, there's Carly Simon, or Harry Chapin, and this song kind of fits into that genre. It's a song about a guy who has various affairs. They're flirtatious affairs, relationships. Some of the relationships go bust, but he learns about commitment. He learns about rejection. And now he meets Mr. Atlanta. And there's a budding chemistry there that something might happen. Now, here's a line from the song. I'm going to do a quote unquote. This is when he meets a young guy, 20 years old, but he's unusually mature for his age. And this is the part of the song where he crosses the Rubicon and makes a splendid self-discovery, a revelation. Quote, "We swam in the moonlight, bearing more than our souls. I learned I could go there and learned that I could care. I could have a soulmate and have these carnal desires, the physical, the platonic, the spiritual, all wrapped up into a full-blown, multi-dimensional relationship." At least that's what I see in the record. His name is Fancy Hagood, but his real name is Jake Hagood. He is from Arkansas, Bentonville, Arkansas, and it's a rather small town when he was growing up. It's grown a lot from what I've read. It's got a population of over 54,000 as of 2020. It grew by 53% from 2010, so therefore it was probably much smaller when he was growing up. He learned how to play the piano when he was very young. Now, these small southern towns, and I can relate to this because I'm from the South myself. My goodness, I grew up in some of my childhood and adolescence. I grew up in a rural community just south of Tuscaloosa. And I can understand that you got to understand religion and sports are at a premium, particularly in the southern towns. And he felt, and because of that, and it works great for some people. Some people could fit into this, and it's great. Builds up their confidence and self-esteem. But for some people, though, they feel like outsiders. It's like you either fit in or you don't, and he felt like he didn't fit in. He moved to Nashville. He moved to Nashville after he graduated. He attended a college called Trifecca. It's Trefecca, Nazarene University in Nashville, Tennessee. Did some songwriting there and played some shows, or kind of played his instrument, played in Nashville. Guess who he met when he was in Nashville? And by the way, his real name is Jake Hagood, in case I didn't mention it. He met Meghan Trainor, 19-year-old songwriter. Now, let me just bear with me on this. I kind of lost my place a little bit. About 10 years ago or so, he came out. He came out that he's gay and wasn't, he discarded the shame. Discarded the shame that was associated with it. He got past it. It was time to tell his story. Now, he got a management team, signed a record deal. He moved to Los Angeles. He put out a song called Goodbye in 2015. And it did okay. It went to number 29 on the mainstream top 40 charts. I'm going to have to give that song a listen to. I might have heard that and forgot about it. But it only got as high as number 98 on Billboard's Hot 100, but still a promising start for a young artist, for a budding young artist. And later on, he came out with another song called Boys Like You. And in this record, he teamed up with Meghan Trainor and Ariana Grande, who loved working with him. Not only that, he opened up for a couple of their tours, opened up for Meghan Trainor on her M Train tour and the Honeymoon tour for Ariana Grande. And he made this song with them. And Ariana Grande, she just had a blast working with Jake Hagood. He was just shouting out encouragement, just very enthusiastic, bubbly, and Meghan Trainor said that she didn't like to be in songs. She didn't like to participate in songs that she didn't write. But she thought that Jake Hagood was such a fantastic songwriter. He was so good. She just had to participate on this record. But Boys Like You did not do anything. It bombed. He let go. He discarded his management. He let go of his manager. He moved back to Nashville. He co-wrote a song about Little Big Town. He changed directions is what happened. He wrote a song about Little Big Town called Nightfall. He released an album in 2021 called Southern Curiosity. I believe this song is on that CD. But this part right here, I love the chorus of this record. This is, well, here it is. I'll do the quote unquote. So, Mr. Atlanta from South Alabama, it's true that we've only just met. No, I don't know if I love you, but I know I want to. And that, boy, that's a hell of a hook right there. You just, dadgummit, it's there. I'm feeling this record. This hook has just clutched me. This song has just clutched me. And I don't want to let go of it. If that makes any sense at all. But, well, I guess that's all I got to say about this record. Actually, I didn't bring my latest fantasy playlist with me, but I peeked it at number 4, last week's fantasy playlist. And there's a top 10 record. The formats for this record, I would go, well, definitely be alternative. Adult alternative, adult top 40. Country, I don't know. It's not really a country sounding record per se. And the country audiences tend to be a lot more conservative than the pop audience too. And, but boy, I tell you what, this is one, I deem this one of the best records of 2021, easily. It's just such, you seldom hear on the radio, on pop radio, a song like this. And if this were, and you know, in the past, a song like this would probably fit in somewhere, but, well, enough said. Oh, by the way, I forgot one other thing I want to mention to you. You're probably wondering, where did he get the name Fancy? Well, around the time, but this was when he was in Nashville, when Jake Hagood was in Nashville. He worked at a fashion retail outlet. Never heard of it before. I had to look it up online. It looks like a real Tony affair. This fashion outlet called Forever 21. He worked there, and his peers, his co-workers, started calling him Fancy, so the name stuck. And by the way, when he did that song Goodbye, and when he teamed up with Meghan Trainor and Ariana Grande, he changed his moniker to Who Is Fancy, but now he's Fancy Hagood. He's at number 22 on my fancy playlist, up 9 from 31. Fancy playlist of February 13th, 2022. I do highly recommend this record. If you like that singer-songwriting tradition, you want a rich song with a lot of emotion, some powerful lyrics, imaginative lyrics, storytelling, boom. That song's for you. This is Dean Kirk signing off. Take care.